on the next episode of Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
This is our special Paso Robles show. So hang on, strap yourself in, and learn a little bit about another wine area that a lot of people don't know about. So the wines we're going to be discussing today, from Tablas Creek, we have their Esprit Blanc de Tablas 2022. From Tablas Creek, the Patelin de Tablas Rosé 2023. The Tablas Creek Vaccarese 2023. From Justin Vineyards, we have the Justin Sauvignon Blanc 2023, the Justin Rosé 2023, the Justin Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon 2021, Justin Isosceles 2021, and from DAOU, we have their Soul of the Lion 2021 vintage.
We'll be right back after this break. Brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking hosts, the good old boys. And now it's sippin' time.
Hey, yes, it's sipping time again, and welcome to this Sips episode where everything good in life is worth discussing. As always, we are the best thing on at 2 a.m. No arguments? No corrections?
I think we are the best thing on at 2 a.m.
This week we are.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean much.
It's an election year. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
we're way better than
all I'm
stuff.
saying is commercials for idiots running for office. So.
Right.
Yeah, if you're better than that, God, we're so screwed. Well, this is Made Man Bob, and joining today for this episode is Made Man Maury.
Good morning, Bob. Pleasure to be here in the basement today. I'm excited about today's lineup.
And good old boy Justin.
Good morning. Good to be here. Good to be anywhere.
Good to be above ground.
Yeah, right?
So, well, our sip segments are all about coffee, wine, distilled spirits, tea, other things that you can drink and sip. But today's episode is a wine episode, and here are the wines that we're going to be discussing today. This is our first time doing a complete episode dedicated to it. We've done a few wines from this area, but this is our Paso Robles show. So hang on, strap yourself in, and learn a little bit about another wine area that a lot of people don't know about. So the wines we're going to be discussing today, from Tablas Creek, we have their Esprit Blanc de Tablas 2022. From Tablas Creek, the Patelin de Tablas Rosé 2023. The Tablas Creek Vaccarese 2023. From Justin Vineyards, we have the Justin Sauvignon Blanc 2023, the Justin Rosé 2023, the Justin Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon 2021, Justin Isosceles 2021, and from DAOU, we have their Soul of the Lion 2021 vintage.
Not a bad lineup.
Yeah, you think?
Oh, yeah.
You think? I mean, it's, again, we've done the occasional Paso, but we've never done a whole Paso show, so I'm excited for this. So we're going to be tasting these wines and rating them with our Sips ratings and our signature sounds, and here are those ratings. Justin's going to tell us about them.
One sip.
Nancy, give me a glass of water to wash out my mouth. It's horrible.
Gangardine, water. Gangardine, bring water. Bring water.
Two sips.
I wish he was back and running again.
Yes, Bob, well, that was nice. But what else do you have?
Well, isn't that nice?
3 sips.
Well, Mr. Gorbachev, that was interesting, but what was this again?
Interesting.
4 sips.
Let's keep this secret to ourselves. Pour me another.
That's classified.
Not buying it. It's just no. We're too deep in though now. We got to go the rest of the way.
5 sips.
Oh my. I was unaware anything could be this good.
Oh my goodness!
Come on, he did Bedtime for Bonzo. He knows how good stuff can be. He did a movie with a chimp. I mean, that's the greatest movie ever.
And he hung in there with the chimp.
Dang right.
Usually, if you work with kids or animals, you're going to be outshined.
I'm telling you right now, I can take 3 random guys off of the street, and if I put them in a room and I put a chimp in the room with them, they're all going to be entertained.
Yeah.
Guys like monkeys, guys like, simple thing. Monkeys, alcohol, food, naked women, and Three Stooges. That's
Little
pretty much
people wrestling.
Monkeys better.
Monkey's better.
Thanks for thanks Ron for the sips rating. So
Oh, you're welcome, Bob.
So again, this episode is all about the Paso Robles wine country. So it's located on California's famed Central Coast. Paso is about 3 hours north of LA and about 3 hours south of San Francisco. So about midway in between. It's got over 200 wineries, over 40,000 acres of vineyards, producing more than 60 wine grape varieties from the area's heritage variety of Zinfandel to Spanish varieties, Italian varieties, Bordeaux varieties, Rhone varieties, and some very unusual ones that you're never going to see anywhere else. So this is an area that's new to a lot of folks, or they'll see it on a bottle and they don't actually know what it means or what it is. So we've got wines from 3 of their top estates here today. We've been lucky to have them send us some wines. So we're going to have Maury tell us about our first winemaker and our first wine.
Thank you, Bob. Pleasure. The first wine today is coming from Tablas Creek, which was founded in 1989 as a partnership between the Perrin family, proprietors of Chateau de Beaucastel in Bordeaux, in France, and the Hess family of vineyard brands. Chateau de Beaucastel needs no introduction as one of the premier Châteauneuf-du-Pape estates with roots tracing back as far as 1549. Robert Haas began his career as a buyer for his family's wine business in the 1950s. Opening his own business, Vineyard Brands, in 1960, he began importing fine wines from Burgundy, Bordeaux, the Loire, Alsace, and Rhone Valley, where he met Perrin of Chateau Beaucastel. Together, the two families became convinced that Rhone grape varieties would thrive in California's Mediterranean climate. In 1985, the families began looking for property with a close match to the climate and high pH soils of the Chateau Beaucastel. In 1989, they purchased a 120-acre parcel 12 miles from the Pacific Ocean in what is now the Adelaide district, west of Paso Robles. They named it Tablas Creek Vineyard after the small creek running through the property. So the first wine is Tablas Creek Esprit de Blanc de Tablas 2022. It's 12.5% ABV. Adelaide District, Paso Robles, 33% Roussanne, 32% Grenache Blanc, 14% Picpoul Blanc, 8% Clairette Blanche, 8% Picardin, 5% Bourboulence, and 1,850 cases were produced. The Tablas Creek Vineyard 2022, the Tablas de Blanc, is their flagship white blend. It is made from 6 white Rhone varietals, propagated from budwood cuttings from the Chateau de Beaucastel estate. Grown in their certified organic and biodynamic estate vineyard, the fruit was whole cluster pressed and fermented with native yeasts. The Roussanne was fermented in oak of various sizes. About 10% was new. The other varieties were fermented in a mix of neutral oak and stainless steel barrels. All of the wines went through malolactic fermentation. The Esprit Blanc was blended and aged 8 months in Foudre until its bottling in December of 2023, then aged an additional 9 months in bottle before its release. So this wine has a beautiful, very, very pale yellow color to it. On the nose, there's lots going on. There's some sweet spice, hint of citrus, a hint of beeswax. It's got a really nice mouthfeel and texture. There's definitely flavors of peach and a little hint of oak, a little bit of stone and minerality. This is really a beautiful wine, and the finish just seems to go on and on and on. I really like this wine quite a bit. They've put a lot of love into it. It's got some varietals that most of us have never seen, much less tasted before. I think it's really, really nice and really interesting. Justin, what did you think?
So this is right up there with anything I've had in the valley. Really nice melon, very clean note. I got like light cedar on the nose. On the palate, when we first opened it, I got like bright lime, cantaloupe, and it was very clean. Once it aired out some and air got to it and decanted, all the flavors kind of mellowed out. It became like much more enjoyable, and the finish was refreshing and short. What did you think, Bob?
I thought this was lovely. I mean, the color on it is just, it literally glows in the glass. I mean, it's really pretty wine. It's got a nice nose. I pick up a good bit of lime on this. Citrus, but mostly lime for me. And like green honeydew melon. But it's got a really nice mouthfeel to it. It's got a good coat. Gets the front and the back of the palate. A little bit of white peach. That dusty riverstone sort of minerality. The oak is there, but it's just barely detectable underneath. They didn't hit this thing over the head with a oak baseball bat that so many tend to unfortunately do these days. Well done. I think this one's really nice. It's got a great finish to it. Stays with you for a while. It was a little bit cold when we first opened up, but it's warmed up a little bit now, and it's sitting real well with me. I'm definitely enjoying this one. So this is a pretty good introduction.
Yeah, no, I thought they did a really nice job. I think it's beautifully made, and it's very nicely balanced. Some of these whites can be a little acidic, and I thought this was really nicely balanced.
And acid's not a bad thing. It's supposed to be acidic, but like you said, some of them it's blinding. Some of them Some of them they just heavy hand the oak. Some of them just they go too far on one point, and that tends to take over the wine.
Agreed.
Where this is just, and again, this is sort of their house white. So I'm excited for the other wines. So we're going to be rating the Tablas Creek Esprit Blanc de Tablas 2022, a well-deserved 4 sips.
That's classified.
And if this is any indication of what they can do, Paso's in good hands. So we'll be back. Hey, we're back, and it is our Paso Robles show. We just finished talking about the lovely Tablas Creek Esprit Blanc de Tablas. Gave that one a well-deserved 4 sips. Lovely wine. So that's going to move us on to our next wine. We're going to have Justin tell us about that one.
So now I'm going to talk about Tablas Creek Patelin Tablas Rosé 2023. It's 13% alcohol by volume. Appellation Paso Robles. It's 71% Grenache. 20% Mourvedre, 8% Vermentino.
He'll get it out.
1% Cona, and 5,250 cases produced.
I think that's Counois.
Counois,
I believe.
Merci beaucoup. The Tablas Creek Vineyard Patelin Tablas de Rosé is a rosé blend in the tradition of Provence, produced from the 3 red Rhone varietals Grenache, Mourvedre, and Counois, with an addition of Vermentino. The wine incorporates fruit from
Vermentino.
C. The wine incorporates fruit from the 11 top Rhone vineyards in Paso Robles, each vineyard selected for its quality. 90% of the wine was picked and direct pressed into stainless steel tanks with no skin contact beyond the time in the press. The remaining 10% was picked cold, early in the morning or at night, then destemmed and let soak for the workday to provide some color and structure. After about 12 hours, these lots were pressed and added to the direct press lots. Only native yeasts were used in the fermentation. After fermentation, the wines were blended, cold stabilized, and bottled January 2024. So on the nose, I got a lot of melon fruit rather. It was pleasantly acidic, and it reminded me of like high-end hotel soap on the nose, at the end of the nose.
How often do you consume? First off, how often do you consume
hotel soap?
How often do you consume soap that you know that high-end hotel soap tastes differently?
No, just the nose. I don't eat it. I just smell it.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Yeah, okay. Proceed.
So, on the palate, it was kind of like salty fruit. It was floral, and had like a lot of nice fruit in it. And what did you think, Maury?
Thank you. I like the color. It's got this really neat, very pale salmony color to it. I would agree with you on the nose. I got a lot of nectarine, a little bit of strawberry, definitely some hint of citrus and tropical fruit notes. I thought the palate was rich and fruity, and it had a lot of minerality to it, as well as a little hint of acidity. Finish was medium. I think this is a refreshing wine. It could be really nice by the pool, sipping on it all day. It was bright. It was fresh. It's what I would call an all day sipper. I liked it very much. Bob?
Yeah, I think it was really well put together. It's it kind of reminds me of my other favorite rosé, which is the one that we got from DAOU not too long ago. We did on the show that I was so pleasantly surprised with.
It's gotten better in the glass with air. It was initially a little tight and a little cold when I poured it, but the temperature has done it some good as is the air.
When we chill the wines with the show, we tend to start out with them cold, not just lightly chilled, but cold. And then as we do it, it warms because, you can't cool it down. You can only warm it up. So when we do them, they always end up a little bit cold, and then we can sort of see, because once in a while you get one that at cold is still just as good, and it allows you to get that range of temperature. Right now, it's just a light chill. I agree with you. It's opened up even more, and I think, honestly, my score actually went up on this, but I'm getting some strawberry notes, some white peach, and I love in their notes, They hit it right on the head. Salted watermelon. I'm absolutely getting that, but it's got a nice crisp acidity to it. It's got a little bit of a floral note on the back end. It's got, a reasonably decent finish for a rosé. I think it was very well done. Definitely. I think, that's 2 for 2. So we're going to be giving the, Tablas Creek Patelin de Tablas Rosé 2023 4 sips.
That's classified.
All right, so that's going to take us to our third wine from Tablas Creek, and really kind of excited about this one. This is the Tablas Creek Vaccarese 2023. It's 13.5% ABV, Adelaide District in Paso Robles. This is the third varietal bottling of this rare Chateauneuf de Pape grape. This was grown from budwood cuttings from Chateau de Beaucastel. This is a very rare blending grape with less than 30 acres still planted in all of France, and only 2/3 of an acre are planted in Paso. So this is a very rare one. So only 147 cases of this have been produced. So this is a grape I've never had individually. So I'm very excited to give this one a try. So on the nose, there's There's a licorice note. A little bit of old leather, like an old tobacco pouch. I like on their notes, they put down, again, I think their notes are spot on. They put down grape candy. And I swear it may be the power of suggestion, but I pick up like grape hard candy. I'm definitely getting that.
On the nose more than the palate.
Yeah, on the nose. Only on the nose. And then on the palate, it's, let's see. Blackberries. Dark red, dark black fruit. Kind of surprising. I mean, it's a lighter looking wine, but, it's got a lovely color to it. It's a, sort of a light garnet, but not real deep, but it has some pretty good tannin to it, which kind of surprised me. There's a nice balance on the acidity and the sweetness on it. A little bit of a pepper on the finish. More of a white pepper for me than a black pepper, but very cool. Very cool.
I agree with just about everything you said. I think it's really neat. It's really fun. It's definitely got some spice. It's got some pepper. It's got a nice tannic backbone. The finish is medium to long. Really super interesting wine. I mean, to some degree, I might call it a geek wine. Nobody's ever really had it before, but really enjoyable. Not a real heavy in your face wine, but
if you tried it and it was just weird, then it'd be a geek wine. I mean, it's like, geek whiskeys. I mean, you do it just to show that you can, but it doesn't mean anybody's going to buy it. This, I'd buy. I would absolutely pick this up and drink this on a regular basis. So what do you think, Justin?
So on the nose, I definitely got like grape pixie stick and soy and like a very gentle note of Play-Doh, but the nose is really well balanced and it smells like a lot older wine than it is. On the palate, I got like strong blackberry. I got the balance that Bob got. It was nice and tannic. Good umami to it, like a really good ramen. And the finish was beautiful. This wine really blew me away. What did you think, Maury?
Well, as I said, I think there's a really nice effort. I agree with Bob. It's not geeky. You try it once and put it away. You definitely can buy this and enjoy it and continue to consume it. It's just fun. And it's definitely one that guaranteed anybody else at your party will never have heard of.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be the Stump the Idiot wine. Guess what it is? No one's ever going to know. I mean, there's no... I could probably get a half a dozen winemakers in Paso and pour it and say, what is it? And they'll go, I don't know. Because, they've got 2/3 of an acre adjusted, and that's it. There's nothing else. There's literally nothing else in California. So it's, this is definitely interesting. So let me have another sip. So we're going to be giving the Tablas Creek Vaccarese 2023 a well-deserved 4 sips.
That's classified.
Again, there's not a lot of cases of it, but if you see it, this is definitely one that's worth picking up. So all right, we're going to have Justin tell us about our next winery for obvious reasons.
We're going to talk about Justin Baldwin, no relation, a former investment banker, founded Justin Vineyards in 1981 with the purchase of 160 acres of land in Paso Robles. His mission was simple: to make a world-class Bordeaux-style wine. One of the early pioneers in Paso, he planted his vineyard with classic Bordeaux varietals: Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cab Franc, and Petit Verdot. Their first wine was made in 1987, and they earned the number 6 spot among Wine Spectator's top 100 wines of 2000. So first, we're going to talk about Justin Sauvignon Blanc 2023. It's 13.5% alcohol by volume. It's 100% Sauvignon Blanc. Appellations from the Central Coast, fermentation is whole cluster pressed and fermented at cool temperatures in stainless steel tanks. No malolactic fermentation. So this wine is like a brilliant white. There's a very light effervescence to it. On the nose, I got ripe lemon. I got green apples. I got Irish butter. And there was a note of baked chicken when I first nosed it, but that note is now gone with time. On the palate, it was nice medium body. Some bright lemon. Some unripe apples. And a little bit of fresh cut herbs, but that faded over time. So it kind of got that fresh cut grass kind of thing going on, but it went away. And the finish was clean. This would be beautiful with like some fruit and veggies, and just start a nice afternoon of drinking. What'd you think, Maury?
Yeah, I agree, Justin. I think this was a really nice wine. I thought it was fairly typically traditional of a classic Sauv Blanc. Again, it had a lot of lemon and green apple on the nose. It was a fair amount of citrus, and then, like you mentioned, some of the herbal notes. I agree with what you said. I think it's developed nicely in the glass with a little time and temperature, warmed up a bit. It's got a little air, but I would agree that it was relatively dry, a little acidic, some bright lemon and Granny Smith apple again, hint of pineapple and a little herbalness. For me, the finish was relatively short, but it was pleasant. This is something that I could see sipping by the pool all afternoon. I thought it's a really nicely made wine. Again, pretty typical Sauv Blanc, and I'd put it up against the Sauv Blanc from pretty much anywhere else in California. I thought it was very nice. Bob?
I'm just trying to figure out how he ever gets any work done, because it seems all he ever does is sit by the pool and drink wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a man of leisure.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, I know. I
You're
wish
just
I could
envious.
Figure that out.
Wish I
You're
could
just
be.
envious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just go and toil and, work in the coal mines all day. So, yeah, it's, a classic Sauv Blanc, very well done. Lots of hints of lemon on the tip of the nose. A little bit of green apple. A little bit of white peach. A little bit of floral note. When I first poured it, I got a little bit of a vegetal, almost asparagus note to it, but that's with air, that blew completely off. I'm not picking that up at all. It's very clean. And on the palate, hold on. Got a nice bright lemon, tart apples. Got a little bit of an herbalness to it, decent finish. Yeah. Just a slight bit, just, enough to make it interesting, not enough to, be weird. Pretty good finish, especially for a Sauv Blanc. I'm with Maury. I'd put this up, against 95% of the Sauv Blancs in California, and I think this one would probably come out on top most of the time. So, well done. Great effort from the folks at Justin. This Justin Sauv Blanc 2023. We're going to give this a well-deserved 3 sips.
Interesting.
So we're going to have Maury tell us about our next wine from Justin.
Thank you, Bob. The next wine is the Justin Rosé 2023. It's 13.5% ABV. The appellation is Central Coast. It's a rosé of mostly Syrah that is whole cluster pressed and fermented at cool temperatures in stainless steel tanks with no malolactic fermentation. Again, a very, very pale pink on the color. The nose is very aromatic with ripe red apple, notes of some green apple, a little bit of pear, violet, and white flowers. There's a hint of some dried herbs and just a little bit of pepper. I find the palate to be nice. It was medium bodied. It was mouth coating. There's definitely some ripe red and green apple, hints of some berry fruit. a little bit of floral note, and then the finish seems to go on. It's a subtle finish, but it goes on, I would say, medium to long. Again, a very nice wine, very nicely balanced. I enjoyed it. Bob, what'd you think?
I think it's a lovely rosé. Again, I get the apples and the pears on the nose. I definitely get like a floral note on it. And just a slight bit of pepper on the tip. But on the palate, let's see. Nice, tart apple. A little bit of melon, like honeydew melon. A little bit of a floral note on the mid palate and on the finish. It's got a nice minerality to it on the back palate. I enjoy that. I kind of like rosés to have that sort of dusty mineral note to them. It just sort of agrees with me. I think it's excellent. This is a well done rosé. Again, I'm not a big rosé guy, but apparently I am if they're from Paso, because the 3 rosés I can name right now that I actually really kind of enjoy are this and Tablas Creek and that one from DAOU, and they're all from Paso. So I think they're doing something right when it comes to rosé. So, what'd you think, Justin?
This is such a versatile wine. You could do this with
It's
a
a
cheese.
$10 word. Wow.
You could do this with like a cheese course. You could do it with like dark chocolate. It's got a really nice variety of fruits on the nose, and the palate tastes like it, it tastes like it smells. The finish is really pleasant. I'd have this at my dinner.
Well, you would have the Justin wine at Justin's dinner?
Justin's house.
In Justin's house?
Is this Justin's house wine?
At Justin's
It would
table?
be Justin's house rosé. Yeah.
Well, we're
It's too
going to
bad
give
that it's
we're going to give the Justin Rosé 2023 a well-deserved 4 sips from
That's classified.
Justin
Yeah.
to Justin. Hey, and we're back, and we are doing the Paso Robles show. So, Justin, we were just talking about the Justin Rosé 2023 with Justin. So let's get on to our next wine from Justin. And I'm not Justin, but I'll talk about Justin's wine sitting next to Justin. I'm confused as hell right now.
Justin's got you. Don't worry about it.
Well, this is
Are you trying to justify the Justins?
Justified. Oh, I love that show.
Oh, yeah.
Raylan Givens.
Yeah.
So this is the Justin Reserve Cab Sauvignon 2021. It's 15.5% ABV, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, Paso Robles appellation, fermented in stainless steel closed top tanks with UV43 yeast and twice daily mixing. Barrel aged for 21 months in French oak, 50% was new. So let's have a taste. So right off the bat, it's got a beautiful nose, kind of perfumey.
How about that color, though? It is deep, dark, and inky.
Yeah. It's got a beautiful, beautiful dark ruby on it. Black cherries, raspberries, blackberries. And their notes, they have cigar box. They're dead on with that one. I totally get cigar box. There's just a hint of oak. Let's have a sip.
Classic Cabernet nose. I just think that's got a beautiful nose.
On the palate, got some weight to it. I mean, just really nice. Dark black cherry, black currants, blackberries. It's got a nice mouth coat to it. The tannins are there. They're not overwhelming. I did aerate this wine 4 times before we drank it because, unfortunately, with the show, a lot of times we'll look at wines and I'm almost crying that I'm hoping it because it's like it needs so much more time. It's just going to get better, but yeah, we've got to open them when we get them. So, but the tannins are really not overwhelming on this. I think this thing could go for some years still, but it's not, whacking you in the face. There's almost like a sweet, like a leather pouch with sweet pipe tobacco, like cherry pipe tobacco, a little bit of pepper. This is a lovely wine. Really, really lovely wine. What'd you think, Maury?
I agree with just about everything you said, surprisingly enough.
Bound to happen once in a while.
I love the nose on it. I thought the nose, you nailed it. And their tasting notes were really pretty spot on, both on the nose and on the palate. I would agree with you. There's a lot of toasted oak. There's these velvety tannins, but definitely not overpowering. I'm thinking that the air did it a lot of good. Definitely a lot of sweet tobacco and cedar, a little espresso and black pepper, long finish. To me, this is everything you want in a California cab. It is not Napa, it is Paso, but I would think you'd be hard pressed to say where in California this comes from. If you like them young, which I do, this is a fantastic wine. It's ready to go now.
Let's qualify that you're talking about wine, right?
I'm calling about wine, yes.
Okay, good. Justice Department might be listening.
I think it will reward you with patience, and I think it will age nicely in a bottle. How much will it improve? Hard to say. I love it just the way it is right now. I thought it was delicious.
I do think it could go for a few years, but honestly, if you open it, let it sit for a while, this is one you can drink right now.
Yeah,
without any real. I mean, there's no loss here. I mean, this one's ready to go. So.
Yeah, I summed up my tasting in 3 letters. Yum. Y-U-M. Yum. I thought it was yummy. It was delicious. I'd love nothing more than a big steak to go with it. But I think even on its own, this is.
See, Justin's looking at me because we were last week. We were at the New York Wine Experience, and the second night we were there, we went to Keen's Steakhouse, and we both had a T-bone the size of a Shetland pony.
Bigger than my plate.
I am still fantasizing about that piece of meat. So yeah, I wish I had a steak right now too. What'd you think, Justin?
So the UV43 yeast reminded me of UB40 red wine. Make me feel so fine.
That's
delicious.
He hits one once in a while. Look at him pulling a gem out. Look at you. You little overachiever.
Yeah, it's delicious stuff. Very happy we're drinking it.
Yeah, this is well done.
I don't know the price point, honestly, but I would say it'd be hard to beat this at any price point.
Yeah.
I think it's really delicious.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty confident it's a good value compared to some of the other big names from Napa.
All right. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to give the Justin Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon a well-deserved 5 sips.
Oh my goodness!
So that's going to take us to our next wine, which we're going to have Justin tell us about.
Okay. So the next wine we're going to talk about is Justin talking about Justin Isosceles 2021.
Would that be Justin squared?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 14.5% alcohol by volume. It's 86% Cabernet Sauvignon, 7% Cabernet Franc, 7% Merlot, appellation Paso Robles, fermentation done in stainless steel, open and closed top tanks with twice daily pump overs, barrel aged for 21 months in 100% new French oak, which isn't cheap, kids. The nose is complex and attractively aromatic. It has cherries, black currants. I got cigar box. I got the, when you're in the Boy Scouts, you got these derby cars that you prepare.
Pinewood Derby.
Yeah, Pinewood Derby. And when you freshly sanded the car, you get that note right on there. The palate is full and it's lots of berries in it. Got a little bit of flour and some nice wood and leather at the end. The finish was really, really nice. It kind of fades away pleasant like nice summer romance. And I enjoyed this a lot. What'd you think, Maury?
Well, thank you, Justin. I agree with most of what you said. I like this wine a lot. It has a beautiful inky color. The color is fairly similar to the previous wine. However, it's a much more lighter style. I would describe the first wine, the Reserve Cabernet, as a more masculine, bold, and in-your-face wine. This wine I would describe as a little bit more feminine. It's a little bit more finesse. It's got a little more style and a little bit more layer of complexity. I love it just the same. Honestly, if I had my choice between the two, I'd probably pick the Reserve Cabernet for today. But this wine, I think, will continue to mature over time. I think the 100% French oak is going to do it well, and it's going to really blossom in the bottle with lots and lots of finesse. But at the moment, I think it drinks beautifully today. I would definitely not pour it out. I thought the finish was long and pleasant and delicious. The tannins are well integrated. It's an easy drinker. It's actually for the less experienced wine drinker, I would say this would be more approachable today than the Reserve Cabernet. And over the long term, I think this one will last even longer. Again, a beautiful wine, beautifully made, a completely different style, in my opinion, largely by the addition of some of the blending grapes from the Cabernet Franc to the Merlot, just these small, tiny percentages, but also the 100% new French oak takes it in a completely different direction. Bob, what'd you think?
I thought it was lovely. And I agree with you. This is showing more of the feminine side. This is more the Burgundy to the Bordeaux of the other one. It's got a lovely nose. I get the cherries. I get the black currants. I get some tobacco barn, like an old dusty tobacco barn. There's just a little bit of leather in there. And the oak is not overwhelming, even though it's 100% new. On the nose, it's not overwhelming at all. I mean, it's there, but it's well done. It's very clean. On the palate, hold on.
And you're right about the leather and about the oak and a little bit of the barn, but yet it's definitely a new world nose. It's not an old world barnyardy nose at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. And when I say a dusty tobacco barn, it's not earthy barnyard, anything at all. If you've ever been in a tobacco barn, it has a very distinct smell, and it's something that sticks with you. So, black cherries, dark red stewed fruit, a little bit of licorice. The leather is there. The tobacco leaf is there. But it's very nuanced. I mean, there's some really nice layers to this. It's got a really nice finish. It stays with you for a while. It's not overpowering. The tannins are not overpowering. They're there. They're there. They're on your tongue. They're letting you know they're there, but they're not.
No, they're well integrated.
They're not attacking, So, again, I think this one could go for, quite a few years, and I think it would probably just continue to evolve. And I think this one definitely would get better with age, but it's very approachable today. Open it up, let it aerate it a couple of times for sure. But I think it's very well put together. So it's yummy. It's absolutely yummy. So we are going to be giving the Justin Isosceles 2021 a very well-deserved 4 sips.
That's classified.
So let's move on to our last wine, which is not a Justin wine. So Justin's not going to do it. We're going to have Maury do it.
Fair enough.
Why, thank you. It's about time we retired.
It's a Maury
Justin.
wine. Yeah.
Okay. DAOU Family Estates is a family-owned and operated winery situated on a 212-acre hilltop estate in the Adelaida district of Paso Robles. Their geology, favorable microclimate, and high elevation were once described by renowned California winemaker Andrei Telechev as...
Telechev.
Thank you.
I only know how to pronounce it because it's, I've seen his name 1,000 times, and every time I look at it, I go, I have to remember that because I'm never going to be able to read it right.
He's described it as a, quote, jewel of enological elements. DAOU's goal is to make unique fine wines that honestly and accurately reflect the potential of the estate and to craft Bordeaux-style wines that combine old world tradition with new world technique. So the wine today is the DAOU Soul of a Lion 2021. It's 14.9% ABV. It is 82% Cabernet Sauvignon, 12% Cab Franc, and 6% Petit Verdot. Very similar to the Isosceles. It's aged 22 months in 100% new French oak. Appellation Adelaide District, Paso Robles. Soul of a Lion is named for George and Danielle DAOU's father, an enduring symbol of strength and courage in their lives. First released in 2010, Soul of a Lion established Paso Robles as a rising star for world-class Cabernet Sauvignon. The color, very similar to the previous two wines, very deep, dark, almost black and inky. On the nose, there's lots of fruit. There's black cherry, blueberry jam, black currant, and these are interwoven with a little baking spice, a hint of sage, and a hint of graphite. The palate. This is a big wine. Layers of chocolate-covered blueberries, tobacco, mocha, vanilla, toasted oak. The mouthfeel is concentrated. It's big. There's a lot of tannins. The tannins are mouth coating, and the finish goes on and on and on. This wine, patience will reward you. We've been patient with it in the glass. We've triple or quadruple aerated it, and it's definitely drinking nicely now. Air and patience will reward you. I think over the next 5 to 10 years, this wine will sing, and it's a shame we opened it a little bit so young, but I'm not sorry because it was delicious.
Yeah.
Bobby Joe?
Well, we've been very fortunate. We have a very good relationship with DAOU and with their PR company as well. So this is the fourth Soul of a Lion. We've done 18, 19, 20, and now 21. And I just looked it up, and every one of them has been just out of the park. So I expected the same from this, and you get it. I mean, the black cherries there, the black currants are there. There's an herbal note to the nose. The graphite is absolutely there on the palate. It's a huge wine. It's like chewing a giant steak. There's dark red fruits, beautiful tannin, beautiful, just warm oak. The mouthfeel is just coating all the way down to your soul. Again, the only bad thing I can say about this is, again, I'm not sorry we opened it, but we opened it a little too soon. What do you think, Justin?
I think this big, bold, beautiful wine would go perfectly with oxtail.
Oh, yeah.
Just savory. It'll cut through it.
Little gelatinous, little fatty.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will go right through all of it.
And
damn, now I'm hungry.
yeah, I'd love to drink this like every couple of weeks because it's just too intense to drink every day, but it's awesome.
I could make myself drink it every day.
You're a professional.
I'm pretty sure I could power myself up and, just, get myself really worked up and make myself do this every single day.
Okay.
If the folks at DAOU are listening, yes, I could do this every single day. Hint, hint. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely wonderful. And absolutely no surprise. 18 was 5, 19 was 5, 20 was 5, and 2021, 5 sips.
Oh my goodness!
Cheers to that.
So fantastic wine, guys. I mean, again, Paso. Look what we had here. I mean, there wasn't an average wine in the entire bunch.
No, they were
all so
good.
well done.
Yeah.
This is it's an area that a lot of people miss because it's not right near a major city. It's you got to drive, but absolutely worth it. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Maury.
Thank you, Bob. Another beautiful day in the basement. Wines today were not bad at all.
Yeah, thank you, Justin.
Muchas gracias, Senor Bob.
And this is Mad Bob. Thank you for joining us. Remember, life is too short to drink bad wine. And honestly, guys, if you take that trip to Paso, I don't think you're going to find very many bad ones.
I agree.
Especially not these. I love this job.
Yeah.
Delicious.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to us online, do yourself a favor and tap
Tappity.
the subscribe button.
Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
The easiest way to listen to our show is to ask Siri, Alexa, Google, Uncle Larry, or whoever it is that talks to you on your phone. Play podcast Sip, Suds, and Smokes. We love your feedback, and you can reach us at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our tasting notes flow out on Twitter and Instagram with our handle @SipSudsAndSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands,
Millions and millions
of other fans on those social media platforms. Do us a favor. Take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. That's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well. Come back, join us for another episode, and keep on sipping.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sip, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see y'all next time.